Hello friends, welcome to my channel, a channel for learning simple coding. If you find this video to be helpful, please like, share and subscribe my channel. In class number 14, we are going to understand how to use nested loop in Rust. For that, we are going to understand the use of for and while loop. Plus, we will also understand one exceptional behavior of nested loop in Rust that is not available in other programming languages. We will see that also. So let us start the practical. Now it's class number 14, so I am creating the new project cargo new, and I say here class number 14 and I say nested loop. Then we go to this class number 14 and here under this we have the main.rs. Here we are going to implement the nested loop. For that, just I show you that for loop. I say let I equal to 0, then let j equal to 0, then I say here while I less than 5, then we are going to use another while also because I am talking about nested. I say less than 5, then I need to print here print statement, and here I display the value of I equal to this one, and I say j equal to this one, and I say I comma j. This is a simple one. We have a two variable I and j, then I initialize from 0, j initialize from 0, j I less than 5, that means we have to run this loop, and after that I say I plus plus like this, and after printing this I say j plus plus like this. Done. Now we start. We say cargo run, and you will see that we are saying cannot assign the value immutable variable. You see that because this variable is a immutable, so we have to declare it as immutable also because we want to modify the value of this like this way. Again we try to run it, and you see that we have I equal to 0, j equal to 0, then I equal to 0, then j equal to 1. So it's running only one time because we have to initialize this j 0 after each iteration of I. So we have to set here again j equal to 0 because after one iteration then value of j is greater than 5. That's why it would not come under this. So we have to initialize it again with j equal to 0, and after that we say println like this. Again we try to run it, and you see that we have a nested loop, use of nested loop. So this is a first iteration, then second, then third, then fourth, then fifth. So 0 to 5, 5 times this loop will run. So this is the way to use while loop. But if I take for loop, then you see the changes. I say here in place of while I say for, and I say I say 0 to 5, we have to run it. Remember that? So I equal to, we are running I from 0 to 5. Same, try to execute once again, and you see that we cannot use, you see each and every error it checking by the Rust. Remember that because we have to make a plus plus in while, but it is a for, so it is not allowing us to do this. You see that, not allowing to use this variable. Remember that this I is different. Remember this I is different and this I is different because there is a scope of a variable. So under this for loop this I exists, and outside this for loop this I exists. That means this I and this I both are separate variable. This is the exceptional behavior. You see that I tell you more about this. So here this I have declared it as a mutable variable, but this variable is not considering by Rust here as a mutable because it's a I, so it considering I as a variable. Remember that. So I need to declare this as a mutable, but I am not declaring right now. I am just removing this, then I show you the output. So once again I run it, and you see that we have the proper use like a while. But there is a one exceptional quality of Rust programming language that is not available in other. You see that if I say I equal to I plus 10, remember, and I try to execute it once again, you see it is showing again error. What is the error? Error is that this I is not a mutable, it's a immutable. So we have to declare it as a mutable variable. Remember, I need to declare this I also as a mutable. Now you see the answer. You see it is running, but I display the value of this I also. Then you will see the meaning of this. I equal to, I say it is I like this way. Now I try to execute once again. You see I equal to 10. Remember, I equal to 11, then 12, then 13, then 14. See this. The value of I is first time is 0 because starting from 0. Then it become 10. Here you see 10. Then I become 1, then 11, then 12. That means this I is this, and this I is also is like a this one. So this outer I is not considerable here. Remember that. Under this, only this variable it considering, it not considering this value. Remember that. It's a very important concept to understand. If we have this outer variable, the value of this is 0. Remember, now I equal to I plus 10. So this is 0. This means this I is 0. So we are adding this 10, so it become 10. Next iteration, this I will become 1, so it become 11. Then that means this I is not here, is not using here. Suppose I say 10 or to this I. Once again I try to run. You see, again the answer is same. That means this I variable is not using inside this. Remember that. So if I remove this, there is no effect of this on this coding. You see, same output. That means in for loop, inside a for loop, the scope of this is higher than the scope of external variables. Remember that those are outside of for loop. So each and every time this I is using here, and this I value if is more than 5, then this loop is not stopping. Remember that, because the condition is it will execute 5 times, 0 to 5. It will execute 5 times starting from 0 to 4. So it will execute 5 times. Remember that. So this I every time it initializing means first time it is 0, second time is 1, then 2, then 3, and no effect of this value itself. This value is display here. Again the I have a new value. That means if it is 10 in a first iteration, so next time it should be 21. Remember that. But it is not 21 right now, it's 11. Why? Because 10 and plus 1. So after each iteration, the value of this I is reinitialized by this for loop. Remember that we have to understand here in nested loop of Rust programming language. It's a very important concept, and it's a exceptional behavior of this. So if you see this in PPT, we have talked about nested loop for and while we have checked it, an exceptional behavior of nested loop that we have checked here, and we have checked that external variable if we have it with same name is not using here inside this loop, it using every time this I. First thing. Second thing, each and every iteration it reinitializing the value of I, so it is not considering the old value of I and it not taking it in another iteration. Remember that. So this variable is having a fresh value each and every iteration. So if we have some previous result, so this result would not goes to second iteration or third iteration. Remember that. We have to understand before using the nested loop in Rust. So this is the way to use nested loop in Rust programming language. Here you can also use for loop if you want to use. Same concept applied here. I think I have explained it clearly to you. You can understand now how to use nested loop in Rust programming language. If you like it, please do subscribe. Thank you for watching this video.